Hello, welcome to yoga. For today's class, you might want to have available to you a yoga strap, or you can use a scarf or a tie or a belt or even a towel, just something to help get some length for your binds or your reaches through your class today. It's not necessary, but it might be helpful to have nearby just in case. We'll get started in an easy seat, so you can sit cross-legged or you can sit on your shins if that's more comfortable for you. Allow your hands to go onto your knees, either facing down or palms facing up, whatever feels best for you and your body today. And then if it's comfortable for you, just allow your eyes to close or simply soften your gaze and bring your eyes to look down towards your nose and your mouth. Let yourself settle into the shape that you've chosen. Begin to follow your breathing. Follow your inhale. Follow your exhale. Do your best to cultivate through your practice today the curiosity for movement and the appreciation, the gratitude for simply being able to move your body today. So whatever abilities you have today, celebrate that. Your poses may look and feel different than they did yesterday, and what they will be like tomorrow. So simply practicing the enjoyment or the curiosity or the journey in which your body is moving through today. Begin to deepen your breathing. Breathe in and fill your body. And breathe out. Empty your lungs, empty your belly, and let out stale air. Take an inhale as you prepare your body for movement. And exhale. Get yourself grounded and ready for movement. Breathe in and breathe out. Feel free to blink your eyes open at any time. Take a big inhale, reach your arms up over your head. Interlace your fingers and reach the palms up towards the sky as you allow your sit bones to sink down into the floor beneath you. Maybe wiggle a little bit from side to side. Allow your shoulders to raise up high towards your ears and then sink down away from your ears out into your back body. Maybe allow the chin to drop into your chest. And then lift your chin parallel. Flip the hands, palms, and lower them down into your heart space. Interlace the fingers, push the palms forward, out, and up. Follow your fingertips with your chin and your gaze. As you exhale, allow the palms to flip and bring your hands, palms down the center midline of your body. Another deep breath in. Push the palms forward, out, and up. And exhale. Palms together, let them slide down. Again, inhale, reach. Exhale, palms down. Last time, palms forward, out, and up. And exhale, hands, palms down the center. Sweep the arms up over the head through the sides. Place one hand onto the floor, reach the opposite arm up and over. Sink the opposite hip down into your floor, maybe allowing your gaze to look up or down. Wherever is best for your neck. Check in, notice. Push into the hand against the floor. Send your opposite hip down. Reach a little bit further. And then allow the hands palms to meet at the top with your inhale. Exhale, opposite hand goes down into the floor. Send your hip into the floor to ground yourself and reach over to the side. Feel a stretch along your side body from your hip through your rib cage and out your fingertips. Again, notice on this side if your gaze would like to go up or down or simply forward. Shoulders away from your ear. And then hands palms meet at the top with an inhale. As you exhale, melt your hands down. Come into a tabletop position. Hands underneath the shoulders. Knees underneath your hips. Find a neutral spine to start. Press the hands palms into the mat. Tops of the feet down into the mat. Big breath in. Send your heart forward and through your shoulders as your tailbone lifts. Exhale. Scoop the tummy muscles. Push into your hands and your shins, chin to chest. Inhale. Drop the belly button down towards the floor as you lift your chin. Exhale, chin to chest. Compress your chin to your chest. Inhale, lift the chin, stretch out the throat. Work your eyes as they go up. And breathe out, tuck your tail, stretch out your back body. Last time, inhale, stretch the front body. Exhale, lift your tummy muscles, scoop, hollow out. Come back into your flat back once again. Extend one leg back behind you. Press firmly into your hands, palms, and into the shin that's connected to the floor. The extended leg, make sure there's energy in that leg as you reach your toes and reach your leg further back behind you. Notice if you can find your balance. Bring the opposite hand out in front of you. One long line from your fingertips through your toes. Take an inhale here. As you exhale, hug the knee into your chest, elbow to the knee. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, curl. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, curl. Tummy muscles lift up and lengthen. Last time, curl and lengthen. Reach your hand back behind you, grab onto your foot. Begin to kick the shin away from your front body towards the wall behind you as you lift your heart and lift your chin. Push into your supporting hand and your supporting shin. Kick a little bit harder. Fire up your hamstrings. Allow the front shoulder to open. And then simply release. Reach long. Lower the hand, lower the leg around your spine, chin to chest. Find a neutral spine, extend the opposite leg. Hold here as you press into your hands. Hold here as you push into your supporting shin. And lift your tummy muscles up away from the floor. Engage your core. And when you feel strong and stable, release the opposite arm out. Finding length from fingers to toes. Make sure the toes back behind you are energized. Your kneecaps are lifting. So the leg is strong and long. Take an inhale here. As you exhale, bring your knee into your nose, nose into your knee, elbow connects. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, curl, chin to chest. And lengthen. Exhale, curl. Inhale, lengthen. Last time, exhale, curl. Inhale, lengthen. Reach your arm back behind you. Bend into your knee. Grab onto the top of your foot. Begin to kick your shin away from you and open up your heart. Begin to lift your chin and support yourself by pressing your hand into the floor and supporting shin down. See if you can open up your heart space a little bit broader. Kick a little bit harder. And then mindfully extend. Reach your fingertips and toes in opposite directions. Then lower the hand, lower your leg, and round through your back. Find your neutral shape. Tuck your toes and send your hips back. Maybe you rock a little bit from side to side. Notice your hip creases. Tune in to your hip creases. Notice if you can soften into your hip creases Then soften into the tops of your feet and your toes. And begin to walk your hands up as you send a little bit more weight into your toes. Maybe rocking back and forth if that's comfortable for you. If not, no worries. You can simply just sit in a seated shape. Come back into your tabletop position. Tuck your toes and send your hips back, downward facing dog. Big upside down knee. First downward dog. Notice the backs of your legs. How do they feel? No judgment, simply noticing. Notice your hip creases. Maybe soften into your knees and bend into your knees a little bit, just enough to begin to lift your sit bones and tailbone back behind you a little bit more, increasing the crease in the front of your hips. See if you can keep that there, the shape of your forward tilted pelvis, and begin to stretch your legs. Push firmly into your hands, palms, and the pads of your fingers. Still following your breath. Look forward to the space between your hands. Bend your knees and walk your feet up towards your hands. Find yourself in a forward fold, feet hip width apart. Maybe soften into your knees as much as feels comfortable. Allow your hands to wrap to the elbows into your ragdoll shape. Maybe sway from side to side if that feels inviting for you. Let the shoulders hang off of your rib cage. And then release your grip. Find center, allowing your weight to be equal between your 2 feet. Then bend your knees. Drop the hips towards the floor and roll up one vertebrae at a time. A shoulder roll brings your shoulders up, back and down. As you stack your ears over your shoulders, shoulders over your hips, hips over feet. Step your feet together. Pause in your mountain's pose. Press the pads of your feet down into your floor. Palms rotate forward. Let yourself settle into your upright shape. Cultivate appreciation for what your body can do today. Release judgment, release expectations, and allow yourself to be in the moment, in the shape. Surya Namaskara A. Take a big breath in, reach your arms up over your head, gaze to your fingertips. Breathe out, fold forward, soften your knees and butt. Come up for a halfway lift, shoulder blades roll away from the heart space as you send your heart forward. Breathe out, plant your hands, bend your knees, step to your high plank. Pause in your plank here for just a moment. Engage your muscles in your legs. Push into your hands, palms. Notice one long line from your heels through your ears. Know that you can always lower your knees down at any time. Take an inhale here. As you exhale, bend your elbows, lower yourself down. Come up for a cobra pose, so extend your toes behind you. Push into your hands, palms, and roll your shoulders back to broaden your collarbone. Fire up the muscles along your spinal column, all the way through the back of your neck. Lift the chin slightly, and then lower down with your exhale. Pull your hips back into your downward facing dog. Big upside down. Maybe your heels touch the floor, or maybe they reach towards the floor. Hollow out through your stomach by pulling your navel back towards your spine. Look towards the space between your thumbs. Inhale, lift your heels, bend your knees, step or float to the space between your hands. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Come up to standing with an inhale, reach your arms up over your head. And exhale, arms float down by your sides. Once again, inhale, reach your arms up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, plant your hands, step or float back. Continue your exhale as you lower down. Inhale, upward facing dog. And exhale, tuck your toes, downward facing dog. Inhale, lift your heels high, bend your knees, step or float. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Come up to standing, big breath in, push down to rise. Breathe out, arms float down by your sides. Once again, inhale, reach, pause here. Bend a little bit back as you bring your hips forward slightly. Come back up to neutral spine. Twist to one side so your feet stay planted, kneecaps stay lifted, allowing the rib cage and upper spine to twist. Inhale to center. Exhale, twist to the opposite side. Push down through your feet. Lift the inner thighs inward and upward. Rotate the rib cage. Shoulders back. Breathe in, arms to center. Exhale, fold over your legs. Come up for a halfway lift. Lift your abdominal muscles up. Plant your hands, step or float back. Continue your exhale as you bend your elbows. Inhale, upward facing dog. Open your heart, extend through the toes. Tuck your toes, downward facing dog. Slow, steady breaths here. Maybe check in and notice how this downward dog shape feels the same as your first downward dog. How does it feel different? No judgments, just notice. Reach your heels firmly towards the mat. Press into one hand. The opposite hand reaches across the body towards the outside of the leg, sending your gaze underneath your arm. Allow the rib cage to rotate. Then gently place a hand back down, stabilizing yourself on all fours once again. Then lift the opposite hand, reach across the opposite leg. Send your rib cage around and through as you allow your gaze to follow underneath your arm. Then gently return the hand back onto your mat. Stabilize yourself on all fours once again. Look at the space between your thumbs. Lift the heels, bend your knees, and hop or step forward. Come up for a halfway lift. Breathe out and fold. Come up to stand, press to rise. And float your arms down by your sides. Shoulders roll up, back and down. And then bend your knees. Allow your hips to extend towards the floor, chair pose. Weight into your heels. Maybe lift your toes and give them a wiggle. If you look down, can you see your toes wiggling past your knees? Hello, toes. Send your toes a little bit of love. They do a lot of work for you. Shoulders slide back away from your ears. Scoop your abdominal muscles up. Sit down a little bit lower because you absolutely can. You got it. Bring one arm back behind you, allowing your hips and shoulders to stay square. Adding a kriya. As we exhale, we swing the arms. Again. And pause with both arms forward. Shoulders away from your ears. Scoop your tummy muscles up. Weight into your heels. Sit down lower. Take an inhale to lift up nice and tall, and exhale, fold over your legs. Come up for a halfway lift. Inhale. Breathe out. Press your hands down. Bend into your knees. Step or float back. Continue your exhale as you bend your elbows. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Glue your left heel down into the floor. Step your right foot forward between your hands. Come up into warrior one. Bend deep into your front knee. Extend your back heel down into your mat. Make sure your back toes are turned out slightly. Allow your hip bones to point directly forward and guide your front thigh bone directly forward in line with your toes. Allow your shoulders to slide away from your ears. Energy through your arms. Press down through the pads of your feet. Take a breath in here. As you breathe out, press your hands down into your mat. Front leg meets your back, lower down, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Glue your right foot into the floor. Step your left foot between your hands. Come up, warrior one on the other side. Bend deep into your front knee. Allow your back heel to plant down into the mat. Hips and shoulders and rib cage forward in the same direction as your knee, right over the toes. Lift up your lower abs and slide your shoulders down. Stabilize yourself from the inside out. Appreciate your body for the warrior one shape that you are able to create today. You are a warrior. Take a big breath in. As you breathe out, press your hands down into your mat. Front leg meets your back and flow through. Move with your breath. We meet in downward facing dog. Look to the space between your thumbs. Inhale, lift the heels, bend your knees, step or float forward. Come up for a halfway lift. As you exhale, fold forward. Come up to standing, big breath in, bend into your knees, chair pose. Pausing here, engage the muscles in your legs. Inhale to rise, and exhale, float the arms down. One more Surya Namaskara beat. Bend your knees, sweep your arms. As you exhale, plant your hands down, stepping back. Bend your elbows, inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Right foot steps between your hands, coming up warrior one. Making sure the back leg, your left leg, is turned out slightly. Take a big breath in here. As you breathe out, press your hands down. Right leg meets your left, Vinyasa. Left foot steps between your hands. Glue your right heel down, come up warrior one, big breath in here. Breathe out, hands, palms press into your mat, left leg meets the right, Vinyasa. 3 slow breaths here. If you have stale air, stale energy, then simply sigh it out. Let it go, let it out. Release what no longer serves you well. Look to the space between your thumbs. Inhale, lift the heels, bend your knees, step or float. Come up for a halfway lift. Exhale, fold, bend into your knees. Send your hips back as you come to your chair pose once again. Scoop the tummy. Sit down lower. Straighten up with an inhale. Let your arms float for an exhale. Maybe allow your shoulders to roll up, back, and down. Press down into your left leg. Peel your right foot up off the floor and draw the toes up the inner inseam of your leg. Interlace your fingers and wrap it around your knee. Pull your knee gently in towards your rib cage. Notice your right hip crease. See if you can soften it just slightly. Bring your leg out to the side just a little, allowing just the right hand to hug onto the right knee, allowing your left hand to float to your hip. Notice your right hip crease. Are you gripping? Can you soften it and have only what's necessary to engage? Gently allow your knee to come forward. Let go as you bring both hands to your hip and extend your leg. And then gently lower it down. Bend your knees, give yourself a wiggle. Release any tension you might be holding that's unnecessary. Then press firmly through both legs. Press into your right foot. Draw your left toe up the inner inseam of your leg. Interlace your fingers around the front of your left shin. Use your bicep strength to gently pull your knee in towards your body, in towards your rib cage. How does this left hip crease feel? Or maybe we don't know. Maybe the answer doesn't come to us right away. And that's okay. The work is simply stepping back and making the space to notice whatever may arise. Keeping the left hand onto the knee, gently bring it out to the side. Let your right hand float to your right hip. Allow your shoulders to stay away from your ears, allowing the upper trapezius muscles to soften. Only working as hard as they need to, which usually would make them work harder. And then gently bring your leg forward. Release both hands to the hip and extend the leg and lower it down. Give yourself a little bit of a wiggle. If a strap is needed for hand to big toe pose, go ahead and grab your strap or whatever prop you'd like for that. Seal your left heel down into your mat. Draw your right toes up the inner seam. Take your peace fingers of the right hand around your big toe from the inside. Stand up tall from here. Maybe this is your shape. Awesome, stay there. Maybe you can extend the leg. Awesome, stay there. Okay. Lift your left kneecap up. Engage the muscles along the left leg. Hug your muscles in towards your bone to stabilize yourself. And maybe begin to bring your leg out to the side. You can always adjust the variation to place your hand back onto your knee if you'd like. Maybe you release your hand from your hip, and maybe your gaze goes past your fingertips. Gently bring your left hand back onto your hip. Your leg forward once again. Release the hands and reach them straight up. And then lower the leg down. Bend into your knees, give yourself a little wiggle, maybe shake your hands. Then stand up nice and tall once again. Stabilize your right foot down into your floor. And then draw your toes up the inner inseam. Right hand onto right hip, left peace fingers go around the big toe from the inside. Then stand up tall from here. So your supporting kneecap lifts tall. And then start to extend the leg as far as you are able to today. Hug the supporting leg muscles in towards your bones. Support your joints. And then maybe start to bring your leg out to the side. You can always modify this shape by taking your hand onto your knee. No worries. All about exploring your balance today, no judgment. Maybe your hand releases away from your hip. Maybe your gaze goes past your fingertips. Then everything comes back to center. Your hand goes to your hip, your leg goes forward. Then extend the arms up and lower your leg down. Give yourself a little bit of a wiggle. Maybe palm back. Maybe a little cheer. Roll your shoulders up, back. Good. Take a big breath in, reach your arms up. Breathe out, fold over your legs. Come up for a halfway lift. And breathe out. Toe heel your feet, hip width apart. Take your peace fingers around your big toe from the inside. Roll your weight forward, roll your shoulders onto your back, extend your heart. Maybe you soften into your knees just a little bit to invite more length to your spine. Begin to lower your torso down and press your rib cage into your thighs, beginning to straighten out the legs if they're not already. Shoulders slide up away from your ears onto your back body. Use your bicep strength to gently invite the crown of your head towards the floor. Hug your abdominal muscles up away from your thighs. Release tension in through your neck, your upper cervical vertebrae. And then gently release one hand and then the other. Turn your toes out. Maybe widen your stance just a little bit. Begin to lower your hips down into Malasana. Roll your shoulders up, back, and down. Press the inner thighs away using your arm strength, the back of your arms, your tricep area. Press your hands, palms together to fire up the front chest muscles. Broaden your collarbone. Allow your sit bones and tailbone to extend down towards the floor and lengthen through the back of your neck. So there's one long line invited along the spinal muscles, along the spinal column. Notice your feet. Your feet that do so much for you. Lift your arches up. Invite the outer edge, your pinky toe edge of your foot, to press down into your mat. And then simply release by placing your hands down in front of you. Turn your toes forward. Going into gorilla pose. So lift up one foot, slide your palm underneath your foot so your toes tickle your wrist. And do the same thing for the other hand. Slide it underneath the left hand. Roll your weight forward. You may want to bend into the knees just a little bit to again invite length through your spine. Roll your weight forward so your toes can massage the wrists of your hands. Take a breath in. As you breathe out, sandwich your rib cage against your thighs and lift your sit bones up. Maybe your legs begin to straighten. Invite your shoulder blades closer towards your spine. Begin to extend the crown of your head down towards the floor and your sit bones up towards the sky. Lift your kneecaps up to engage your quadricep muscles. And then gently release. Gently and slowly, one hand and then the other. Come up for a halfway lift. As you exhale, fold forward. Bend into your knees and sweep your arms up to standing. As you exhale, let your arms float. Step your feet together. Find your mountain pose, strong and calm. Breathe in, reach your arms up. Breathe out, fold forward. Come up halfway as you inhale. Exhale, plant your hands, step or float. Bending your elbows as you exhale. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Step your right foot between your hands. Spiral your left heel down. Come up into warrior two. So your front knee is bent. Maybe you need to toe heel your stance a little bit wider. Your left leg, your toes should face to your side wall. Hips and shoulders, either working towards that side wall completely or towards a slight diagonal. We want to find an opening between the legs. Shoulders roll away from your ears as the arms float parallel to the floor. Hug your tricep muscles in towards your arm bones. And find an easy breath here. Reach your fingertips past your front knee and begin to extend the torso up and over your front thigh. Top arm can either stay in line from finger to finger Or begin to reach it a little bit further. So the fingers are in one long diagonal line. From the fingers all the way through the spine, through your back heel. Lift your bottom rib cage up away from your thigh. Maybe allow your focus to go down towards the floor or straight ahead. Maybe up underneath your arm. Then press through your feet to lift your torso up. Keep the bend in your front thigh. Flip your right palm, reach up and reverse your warrior. As you reach back, bend deeper into your front knee. Maybe your gaze is up towards the sky or looking down, sliding down your back leg. Keep the arch in your spine. Stretch your front knee and begin to tip the shape forward into your triangle. So the hand can stop anywhere along your shin or down to the floor, either in front or behind the foot. Then open your heart up towards the sky. Plant your feet firmly down into the mat beneath you and lift your kneecaps up. So your leg muscles are nice and engaged here in your triangle. Again, notice your hip crease, your right hip crease. Check in with it. What do you feel? Or maybe your focus is on other sensations that you feel throughout your body, and that's okay. Step back and notice rather than attaching your thoughts to the sensations. Now press through your feet. Top arm lifts you up as if you're grabbing onto a rope. Bend into your front knee once again. Settle for a breath in and a breath out. One more breath in. And windmill your arms. Take your right foot, let it meet your back leg, and take your vinyasa. Knee in your downward facing dog. Then take your gaze towards your thumbs and step your left foot forward between your hands, sealing your back heel down, preparing for your warrior two. You may need to widen your stance a little bit as we're working our front thigh to eventually get parallel to the floor. Allow your spine to settle equally between your legs, shoulders away from your ears. Hug your arms, your tricep muscles in towards your arm bone. See if you can lift your front hip bone off of your thigh. So oftentimes we find our pelvis tilted. See if you can lift that front hip bone off of your front femur bone. Finding your slow breath here as fast as you can. Reach your fingertips past your front knee and begin to extend your shape. Maybe you stop from finger to finger. Maybe you allow it to continue to reach up over your head, creating one long line from your heel all the way through your fingers. You can take your fingertips down towards the floor in front or behind, or simply place your forearm onto your thigh and lift your rib cage up off of your thigh. Notice where you'd like to take your gaze. And check in with that front hip crease, your left hip crease. How's it feeling? What is it doing? Or maybe you notice other sensations in your body. That's okay too. Don't let your thoughts attach onto it. Just notice. Press down through your feet to rise your torso up. Keep the bend in your front knee. Flip your left palm, lift up, reverse. As you reach back, bend deeper into your front knee. Notice where your gaze feels best for you. Then stretch your front knee and reach up and tip the shape forward into triangle. Slide your fingertips down your shin. Or you can place your hand onto the mat in front or behind your foot. Then open your heart up towards the sky. Lift your kneecaps up, engage the muscles in your legs, strong, supported. Notice your breath. Let it sweep away anything that you don't want to take with you off of your mat today. Notice if there's areas where your breath is stuck because we're in an active shape here. And allow your top arm to lift you up out of the shape. Bend deep into your front knee. Strong warrior two. Take a breath in here. As you breathe out, windmill your arms. Left leg meets your right. Take your vinyasa. Once again, check in with your downward facing dog. We've moved our body quite a bit. How does this dog feel? Are there areas of your downward dog that feel more open? That feel stronger? That feel tighter? Lift up your heels, send your heels to the right side. Lift up your heels, send them to the left side. Lift up your heels, let them float down into your center. Look to the space between your thumbs. Allow your right foot to step forward between your hands. Seal your back heel down, warrior two. Reach past your front knee. Take your elbow down onto your thigh. Then begin to bring the left arm back behind you. Working towards a bind. So, some of us may want to grab our prop here, and we take our prop between our two hands underneath our thigh. Otherwise, work towards your wrist. Then begin to stretch your arms and lift your heart up towards the sky. Our bound shape here. Roll the front shoulder back, your top shoulder. Then look down towards your front foot and step your left leg forward. Maybe we pause here and we just work this shape. That's awesome. Maybe you're able to begin to come to standing. And maybe we work here for a balance. If you're feeling ready, you can begin to extend the leg into bird of paradise. And slowly begin your return. Melt your right foot back onto your mat. Feel yourself strong and supported as you extend your left leg back into your warrior shape. Open up your heart and release the arms back into your warrior two. Pause here. Let yourself settle from that work. Then take a breath in and take your vinyasa. Let go of any stale energy. And then take a peek between your thumbs. Step your left foot between your hands palms. Seal your right foot down. Come up into warrior two. Bend deep into your knee. Extend your fingertips. And either start to just place your forearm down and work towards a half bind here, allowing the top arm to reach back to the inner thigh. Or begin to go into a deeper bind, allowing the arm to wrap around the front of the thigh. Clasp the wrist or your prop behind you and begin to straighten the arms to open up your heart towards the sky. Gaze down, and when you're ready, start to work your back leg to meet the front. Adjust the bind if you need to, and maybe you pause here with just your heel up off the mat, working to straighten the front leg, or rather your supporting leg. Or maybe you begin to come upright. You could pause here, just working on an upright shape. Or you can begin to extend into bird of paradise. And then as you're ready, begin your descent. Plant your left foot down, step your right foot back. Open your heart up and allow your arms to sweep you up into your warrior two shape. Settling here for a breath. Let go of whatever that bird of paradise was for you. Let it go. It's okay. Notice. Notice your mind and windmill your arms. Take your vinyasa. Settle into your downward dog, or feel free to take a child's pose here. So whatever happened from right to left, that's okay. Our right and left are not created equal, and that's part of the curiosity of our shapes. The curiosity of movement, the curiosity of a yoga practice, not a perfect. And then lift the heels, bend the knees, look forward, and either hop through to seated, or simply find your way onto your seat. Maybe popcorn the knees a little bit, release any tension that you might have from your standing exercises. Then bring the right sole of your foot to the inner inseam of your left leg. Allow your shoulders to reach towards your toes and extend your arms up over your head. Allow yourself to begin forward fold over your extended leg. You can also use your strap here if you'd like. Invite length through your spine as you send your heart forward beyond your toes. Breathe into your low back space, into your right hip crease. Again, check in and notice your right hip crease. Let your knee gently fall down towards the floor, or you can simply place a bolster, a block, or a pillow underneath your knee to invite relaxation into your psoas, into your hip flexor. A few more slow breaths. And then gently allow your torso to come up. Take your left hand in line with your left leg. Roll your right heart space, your right heart space, all of your heart space up towards the sky. Sweep your right arm up and over and begin your side bend. Let your left rib cage come forward, right rib cage roll up and back. And then gently bring your torso up. Hug your right knee up. Toe heel it out as much as needed and wrap your right arm around. Begin to fold forward and maybe take a half bind by bringing your arm around. Can you reach the opposite hands? Your left hand meets your right, back behind you for your forward fold. Then gently allow your torso to come up. Release your bind. Your left hand comes across as your right hand goes to the base of your tailbone. Inhale, lift, and exhale, rotate. Extend through your left leg, creating energy in your left leg As your spine gently rotates, allow your gaze to go past your right shoulder. And then gently bring your eyes forward and release your right leg. Give your legs a little wiggle in and out. Excellent. And then bring your left sole of the foot to the inner inseam of your right leg. Face your shoulders towards your extended right leg. Sweep your arms up and let your body lay over your leg. Again, you can use a strap here if you like, or just stop it anywhere that your body will like you to stop, and open your rib cage forward, your heart space forward, and breathe into the sensations that you feel. Again, letting go of what was right side and what was left side. And embrace the journey of noticing your body. And noticing the thought patterns that go along with the sensations. And the simple act of noticing changes the neurotransmitters in your mind. So it changes your ability to see yourself and to see others, just by simply noticing without judgment. Again, inviting space and length through your low back and through your left hip and thigh as it softens. And of course, into your right leg as you soften into your forward fold. Then slowly, gently, mindfully, bring your torso up. Place your right hand down, the right inseam of your leg. Roll your left shoulder back. Allow your left arm to come up and over as you work into your side bend. Take your gaze where it feels best for you. Allow your top shoulder, your left shoulder to rotate back, and your right rib cage to rotate forward. And then gently bring your torso up. Bring your left knee pointing straight up towards the ceiling. Take your left arm and reach it back behind. Your right arm grabs along the left hand. Start to extend your torso over your right leg. Breathe into your lower back. Breathe into your hip creases. Slowly let your body come upright and release your bind. Your right hand hugs your left leg. Your left hand comes to the base of your tail. Inhale, lift your heart, and then exhale, look over your left shoulder. Energize your right foot, your right leg. Let it be an extension of your torso. And then gently bring your eyes forward and release the twist. Popcorn the knees a little bit. And then take a hold of the backs of your legs. Take a big breath in. As you breathe out, round your spine without hunching through your upper back. Just find the C curve, the hollowing out of your lower abdominal muscles, and lower down halfway. Pause here. Check in with your breathing. Did you immediately start holding your breath? See if you can keep your breath calm. And come down one more inch. Wrap your tummy muscles in a little more. See if you can release your arms. And slowly lower all the way onto your back. Release your toes and fingers for a nice long stretch through your body. And then gently bend your knees. Bring your right knee into your chest. You can take interlaced fingers across the knee, or you can take your forearms. And then extend the left leg long. Hug your right knee in towards your right armpit. Open your collarbone and let your shoulder blades slide down onto the floor beneath you. As much as you're pulling that right knee in, make sure your left leg is extending out. Again, noticing your hip creases. Check in with your psoas. One side, your right side is compressed, and your left side is lengthening. And then gently release. Let the leg go long for a breath in and a breath out. And then let your left leg hug into your body. Maybe you take interlaced fingers, or maybe you take your opposite elbow grip. Allow your knee to come in towards your left armpit. And again, as much as you are pulling your left knee into your body, extend your right leg down and out, inviting space into your right hip crease area, your right psoas. As you breathe, expand your belly against your thigh, and your thigh against your belly as you exhale. And then slowly release your left leg. Take a breath in and a breath out. Use your tummy muscles and scoop both legs into your chest. Grab opposite forearm grip on top of your knees, on top of your shins rather. Hug your knees together and in towards your chest. Let your sit bones extend out away from the back of your neck so your whole spine lays flat, as if it's making an impression into the mat beneath you. Breathe into your belly. Breathe out. Compress your thighs against the body. Massage your transverse colon. And give yourself a nice I made time for myself hug. And simply release your legs and your arms. Let yourself settle for just a moment for an inhale and an exhale. Press your feet into the mat, setting up for bridge pose. So feet are firm into the mat, hands, palms pressed down on their sides. Snuggle your heels a little bit closer up towards your body and work your fingertips towards your heels. Hands, palms can stay pressing down into your mat. Take a breath in. As you breathe out, push into your feet, push into your hands, and begin to lift your hips up. Space between your chin and your chest, as if there's a tangerine between your chin and your chest. Let your thigh bones extend forward. Again, make space in the front of your hips. Big breath in and breathe out. Lowering the hips down with your exhale. Once again, push into your feet, push into your hands, palms, big breath in. As you breathe out, hips go way, way up. This time, if you want to snuggle your shoulders underneath, and maybe you grab onto your heels with your hands, or maybe you interlace your grip, pushing your hands, palms down into the mat. Push into your feet, lift your hips up a little bit higher. And as you exhale, release the hands, palms, and lower your hips down. We'll do one more back bend. So you may do another bridge, or you can set up for wheel. So bridge, you'll do the same, pushing into your feet, pushing into your arms. Go up for holding 3 breaths, and then lower down. Wheel, place your hands on either side of your head. Push into your feet. As you exhale, come up halfway. On your next exhale, push all the way up. After 3 breaths, tuck your chin to your chest and lower down. Once you're all the way lowered, toe-heel your feet a little bit wider than your hips and let your knees windshield wipe from side to side. Side to side. Release tension in your low back, your pelvis. Maybe let your hips crack a little bit like mine. When you're even from right to left, bring your knees in. And take the inner arches of your feet with your hands for a happy baby. So you can stay here, or you can add a little bit of a rock from side to side. Maybe as you rock, you extend one leg and then the other leg. Or maybe you can extend both legs. Wherever you are in your happy baby, do your best to extend your sit bones down and away from you so that your whole spine stays flat against the floor. Breathe into your heart space. Keep your heart space, your collarbone, and your sit bones all lengthening. And then gently allow yourself to come back to center. Notice the sensations in your hip creases. Make little circles with your knees right and left. Maybe together or maybe opposite. As you massage your sacrum and your low back area into the floor. Then when you're even, let your arms open to the sides, your legs to fall to one side, your gaze to go in the opposite direction of your knees. And you'll notice that if your knees are closer towards your body or further away from your body, you're going to feel the twist through your vertebrae at different places. So adjust your knees to the position that feels best for you. Even if you don't feel an intense stretch in a spinal twist or reclined spinal twist, it is still plenty beneficial to help keep all of the communication through the spinal column working in a healthy way. Then gently use your tummy muscles to bring your knees back up to center and let your knees fall in the opposite direction. Eyes go away from the knees. And again, notice if your knees need to come up or down. And find where the place, that sweet spot, is in your spinal twist. And let yourself breathe into your twist as your shoulders melt down into the floor beneath you. Maybe your eyes begin to flutter closed as we work closer towards our final Shavasana shape. Use your tummy muscles to bring your knees back up to center and find a comfortable position for your Shavasana. So maybe it is on your back with your arms and legs open as much as feels comfortable. Or maybe it's more of a traditional shape with your heels no wider than your mat, arms by your side, palms up. Or maybe you're on your side or your stomach. Find a comfortable shape that you can hold for your final relaxation. Notice the parts of your body that are touching the floor. Let those parts that are touching the floor get a little heavier Allow your body to gently sink into the floor, fully supported. Let your exhales simply wash away anything that no longer serves you. The power of exhales. Cleansing, grounding, calming. You may stay here a while longer. And as you're ready, begin to deepen your breathing. Allow your body to be filled with your energizing inhales and your exhales. Let them push out anything else you don't want to take with you. Send your breath to your toes and your fingers. Energize every cell, tissue, and organ in your body. If you're on your back, then reach your arms up over your head. And find your way to a side laying position. And if you found your way onto your stomach, you can do the same. Meet us in a side laying position. Give yourself a few moments here. Remember to take your relaxation with you as you begin to find your way to a seated upright shape of your choice. You can keep your eyelids closed or simply soften your gaze. Let yourself settle in an upright shape and notice. Notice your body. Notice your thoughts. Breathe in for 1, 2, 3, 4. Breathe out 4, 3, 2, 1. Again, inhale 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale 4, 3, 2, 1. Again, inhale. Exhale. Last time, inhale. Exhale. Allow your hands to come onto your heart or at heart center with palms pressing together as you join your right side and left side together. The light in me honors the light in you. practicing yoga with me today. Namaste.